Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, I'm personally very excited to be here because I have my very dear friend Alpa also together with me. Giving introduction about Alpa is going to be like a long, long list of things that she's achieved over 25 years of experience. She's a passionate entrepreneur, social entrepreneur. She's author of two books, and I think I'll let her talk more about it. But the most that I like about her is that we are both connected in some way where we have similar passions and similar goal to help women get empowered. So Alpa, if you can just share a little more about yourself.
Thank you so much, first of all, my very dear friend Neha. And let me tell you, I get so much of motivation and encouragement from you because you truly do women empowerment. And once you make them job ready and once they start earning, I think financial literacy takes a very important place in any woman's life. And that is where I come into picture. So I worked for Tata Group and State Bank of India Group for close to 25 years. And then I started my own venture called Empower Education. That's my for-profit organization. And I have my own NGO called Freedom Foundation, wherein I do a lot of lower strata income group people financial literacy programs. And to the extent of like sex workers, transgenders, maids, you name it, and all these segments of women we have touched upon and tried to help them as far as their true financial freedom is concerned.
Nice. I mean, just hearing about the entire journey, I think it's just impressive and long journey, right? So we have a lot to learn from you. Now, since we are on the topic of financial literacy, right? I wanted to start by understanding what do you think means financial literacy? What is your definition of financial literacy?
Well, it's like how you should know basics of maths, science, I mean, history a little bit, you must know, right? And you should know how to draft in English or some other languages. The same way, financial literacy is nothing different. It is like one of the basic life skill which every individual, not just women, everyone should know. Basics of your profit and loss account, balance sheet, and your own net worth. Short term cash flow, long term cash flow, medium term cash flow, income expenditure statement, what kind of money you will require, inflation adjusted, to achieve your different goals and dreams of life. Basically, how you can be completely stress free if in case you have money, and if in case you don't have that kind of money, how you can manage yourself. That is what is true financial freedom and money management.
We have a lot of women obviously in the audience, right? So for them to determine what is their financial state like or how to go about it, what would be your take on that?
So Neha, if I just talk about India, forget world, but let me tell you, even in the world, I mean, the most developed countries I have traveled, I've seen, I've spoke to so many women across the world. The financial literacy level is almost the same, like how in India also is a big concern. Of course, of late it's changing, and I'm very happy about it, but still there's a long way to go. So if you see 50% of the population in our country is women. And out of that, hardly you can say 10% or so are working. And if you consider it educated urban women who are working, it's quite less.
Right.
But at the same time, even the rural area women, like they are also earning. So what if they are not in skilled profession or not a kind of office employees? Finally, they are earning money. Most of them, the financial literacy level is quite less. Either they don't take interest, or maybe they don't have that kind of knowledge or freedom to talk about or take decisions in their life. So, according to me, every woman should invest, every woman should earn, every woman should definitely think about how they can grow the money and lead a very beautiful life with the help of money. Now, over here, even homemakers, they should not feel that they are not earning. Whatever pocket money, whatever household expenditure they are having with them, from there also they can start investing and creating some wealth for themselves.
So you brought up a very interesting point because literally only 10% of women out of the 50% are actually working women, right? So even if there is pocket money or home household running income, how do they actually manage the finances, and what is the role of financial literacy to make sure that it is being used wisely?
Sure. So these are all practical questions, and of course, very, very relevant ones. And one must execute few things in life so well that they never find any lack of money. It's okay if you don't have too much of money, you know. In fact, it's dangerous if you have too much of money, you can't manage it. But if you have less money in life, trust me, your life is going to be very, very bad, because the stress level which you will have of not having enough money to achieve what you want to achieve will really make you down in life. So first and foremost, every woman should sit back, relax, and plan whatever you want to achieve in your life. With the help of proper planning, it is doable. And first and foremost, you should beat inflation in medium to long term. Your 100 rupees looks like 95 next year, and maybe in the 10th year, it will give you a purchasing power of only 40 rupees. So, even if you invest your money in non inflation beating products, all these traditional so called fixed returns instrument, and you feel that, oh, I don't want to take any risk with my hard earned money. But sometimes by not taking risk, you take the biggest risk of not growing your money, and then there will be a shortfall in your life. So, first and foremost, my advice to all the women is that understand inflation and then follow certain ratios and rules and invest and grow that money. Usually we all are busy earning a lot of money, we put in a lot of hard work in, getting a lot of money for ourselves, but what we forget at times is that we don't invest that properly, we don't even enjoy at times properly. You have to be happy, you have to also spend that money in such a way that it brings you a lot of joy in your life. And at the same time, you have to not just invest, you have to grow that money and then distribute that money in such a way that even after you leave this world, it is really handled very well by the other people whom you are giving your money.
So is there any specific strategy or formulas that are
Yes.
that we can use which can help us to plan better, you know?
Of course, before that, women live longer than men and they're usually younger than their husbands. And there is something called 30-30 challenge, which we all are going to face in our life. So we work for 30 years. Usually, we start our job at the age of 25, and 55 approximately we will retire. So 30 highly productive young years wherein we get salary every month and there is no medical issue. But if you live up to 85 years, then another 30 years of your retirement, wherein in India, there is no social security as such. Medical is really
Yeah.
very costly day by day. And inflation and standard of living will demand a lot of money from you. So, what I'm trying to tell you here is that planning will make everything perfect, and nobody in this world can beat women as far as planning is concerned. And that's why I feel that every woman should invest and every woman should take charge of their entire family's income. Even if you are a homemaker, just add value by, spending wisely, and contributing towards your family and towards your spouse by increasing that money rather than always spending that money. So there are a few beautiful formulas which I'm going to leave behind, and you all can really remember it and do it very easily. So first formula is 50-30-20. 50% of what you earn, you can rather spend on your basic needs. 30% of what you earn, you can spend on your wants, enjoy your life. And 20% at any point of time, promise me that you will invest and grow that money in such a way that it will help you in every stage of your life to become a complete true financial freedom you will achieve, and to become completely independent. I mean, true dignity, true self confidence you will get if you are financially free, for sure. So this is a very beautiful formula which I always tell people, that even if you do this much, I think you are at home. And once you receive, say, 100 rupees you want to invest, after the calculations, follow a certain asset allocation formula also, because you cannot invest your entire money in one product, how much ever bullish or emotionally attached you are. So you cannot invest everything in gold, you cannot invest everything in equity market, you cannot invest everything in real estate, you cannot put your money in your cupboard, thinking I don't want to invest anywhere. I mean, it's just not correct. So you have to divide that money in such a way that you're investing it into three, four different product asset classes. And that is what we call asset allocation, like how we eat balanced diet for healthy body. The same way you should follow this. So for that, there is a formula called 100 minus age. So if you have to invest 100 rupees and if you are 30 years old, what does the formula says? 100 minus 30 is equal to 70. So 70 percentage or rupees will go in your long-term goals, mainly into mutual funds and equity.
Okay.
And the other 30%, which is your age, should go in your emergency fund, in your tax planning, and in your protection planning. So if you divide your money like this, it is so simple and easy. I don't think you will make any mistake as far as your overall financial planning is concerned.
I think even I need to check myself whether I'm following that or not. So that's a very good advice, and I will definitely get back to you in terms of if I am doing it correctly or not. Yeah. Um,
Time, dear.
so coming back to women and financial literacy, right? First of all, it is a question of being hesitant as well. Like not all women are involved, or maybe they do not have the right knowledge. That could be the reason, or the access because they are not the final authority in the household. So how do we tackle that issue for women?
It's a absolutely practical question, and every day I come across so many different types of women in my life, and most of them are falling into two categories according to me. One, they are completely in comfort zone. They feel that all days are going to be same and nothing's going to happen, and my husband is there, my father is there, my brother is there, who's going to look after me for my entire life, and they are in their own world. So that is the first scenario. The second scenario is that they have been really not taught or given a chance to even communicate about money. And that is very dangerous. Both the scenarios are dangerous, but I would consider the second one more dangerous because it is so important for all of us to encourage and empower the women of the house, be it be your mom, your sister, your wife, your daughter. It is extremely important that you teach them the basics of money management, financial planning, etc. Because they really need to gear up, and they have to look after their health and wealth both. As far as health is concerned, mental and physical, both health. As far as wealth is concerned, liquid and long term wealth, both are very, very important. And when you empower women of your house, I think you truly uplift the entire family, the next generation, the entire nation. I mean, Neha, I would love to share my story here. So I've been working since last almost 33 years. Not a single rupee. I'm so happy and proud to tell you that I don't remember in last 33 years, or maybe even more than that. I used to work after 12th standard of mine. So I've never ever asked a single rupee from anybody. It's always that I've given. And that joy of giving is so high and so good, Neha. I think for that one reason, every woman should be financially free.
Definitely. I think it's very important just to be financially independent, to make wise decisions, and also support your spouse or family at times when it's needed, right? I mean, there could be emergencies in for anybody, even for our husband or parents. So it's good to be equally supporting in all,
Contributing.
yes,
Yeah,
contributing and supporting in it. So
absolutely.
yeah, even I am with you on that, and that's why actually the whole point, even for Queen, right? We basically
Yes.
want each woman to actually work and become financially independent, and then make these financially wise decisions so that they can support the family and eventually the country. So our GDP also helps to grow better.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, Neha, what you are doing is something phenomenal. And in fact, we are the two sides of coins. I mean, you are encouraging everyone to start earning and, contributing. And this at the same time, once they start earning, once they understand the hard earned money concept in their life, we are just guiding them, to make the best use of that hard earned money.
And I think we have a very long way to go, because our country as
Absolutely.
India, I think we need to have many more like us, especially like you have had a long journey, 33 years, I can't believe. So we need many more to be able to achieve that for all of us, right? For all of us as our country to grow better. So yeah, let's hope for the best. Now, just to get back on the topic, in terms of how women's financial inclusion plays a key role in bringing about gender equality. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I'll tell you, there is, as far as financial literacy is concerned, there is no gender, there is no age, there is no segmentation. Everyone and anyone in this world should know the basics of financial literacy. As simple as that. I mean, even a sixth standard boy should know how the banking system works, or what is check, how I can withdraw money, how I can avoid frauds, online frauds. Even that is the part of your financial literacy.
Yeah.
So for me, gender equality is absolutely coming into the picture as far as women is concerned, because the 50% of the population is women, and that's why it is all the more important. And when you educate one woman, you educate the whole family, generation, and nation. So it is extremely important, and every HR should consider this as a part of their entire diversity, gender equality, risk. Because if you're not empowering your women folks or employees on financial literacy, uh, post COVID, we have seen so many cases that people have just lost their spouses at any age. How will she manage if she's not financially literate? Imagine, especially the homemakers and all. In fact, I will tell you one thing, Neha. A working woman can afford not to have that much knowledge on financial literacy, but a non-working woman, a homemaker, just cannot afford that she doesn't know anything about money management and financial literacy, because she is not even going out and exploring the world. How will she manage if, in case, God forbid, something happens wrong with her?
That's a really valid point. Um, in terms of when we are talking about non-working women or women who are not very familiar with, right? What are the kind of habits that they can form, or ways and means to actually start developing this habit within
Sure,
themselves? Yeah.
sure. So, income minus all your expenses, whatever is left over, you should not invest. Income minus all your investments, and then whatever is left over, you should spend. So unfortunately, we lost Mr. Rakesh Junjunwala just few days ago. And trust me, I am his big fan, and so much we have learned from him. And certain things which he always mentioned is that you must do your proper financial planning with the help of equity and SIP, systematic investment plan. So make the best use of power of compounding. Neha, if you start your investments 5 years late, then when you retire, you are half rich. 50% of your wealth is gone because of the impact of compounding on your investments. Imagine such a big loss. Knowingly or unknowingly, you are abusing your hard earned money. I mean, if you don't get certain amount of bonus or increment, you feel so bad. But who will you blame if you are not giving justice to your own hard earned money and you are not growing it? And you are just spending it, or you're just not, you're having very happy-go-lucky kind of a nature as far as your money is concerned. And remember one thing, always have one credit card for emergency. Pay from your debit cards. Have complete control over your expenditure, inflows, outflows, everything, assets, liabilities. You must know what's happening with your life and with your money. So, power of compounding is the eighth wonder of the world, and every woman who's listening to me, please make the best use of this concept. The moment you start, even very small or less, say as low as 500 rupees a month, also you can start. But over a period of time, because of the compounding, discipline, long term, equity, SIP, mutual funds, diversification, all these concepts, if you will understand, which are very easy and simple, you will make crores of rupees in your life, because the process driven approach will help you. And you will not even realize that, wow, so much of money I am, accumulating in my account just because of few certain basic change in my nature I brought. It's all about investor psychology. It's, I always say this, Neha, that making money is very simple but not easy, because we have to follow certain rules. We have to control our greed and fear. We have to change certain thought processes which we have in our mind, and then we have to do it. That's it. It's, everything is in our hand. And all the women who are listening to me, I'm sure they all love their children, right? If you have children, you have to become their role model. If I
Yes.
am not giving justice to my family's money or income or whatever, how will I teach my children that they should respect my money or family's money? Or even if when they'll start earning, they will not do right things in their life, because we have to set an example. We have to lead by an example. We have to show them so many things. So if you really want to bring up your children in a very, very proper way, please, you have to gear up. You have to understand so many things and then teach them as well.
We
So
have the responsibility of being their role models for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. And I have no right to say my child that, beta, you save some money and don't spend so much. And if I'm not doing, how will he or she will respect me? It's not correct, no?
Yeah.
So first and foremost, we have to change certain lifestyle changes. It's like, if I have to lose weight, I have to get up and go for a walk, and then only I can tell my son that, look, you also have to lose weight, come with me, we'll do yoga together, something like that. So this is how the world has changed, and we have to be a role model rather than, only a parent to our children.
When you mentioned about, I'm glad that you mentioned, if even if you have as little as 500 rupees, you should invest, because some people might think, oh, what are we going to do with so many products that are available in the market and I have so little money? So if for me, for example, if I were to invest 1,000 rupees, how would you advise me to invest in what products, or what way would be the best way to invest?
Superb question. And very easy. So you have to follow three baskets, Neha. So if you have to invest, say, 500 rupees per month,
Yeah.
as I already explained you, the asset allocation ratio, 100 minus age. So after that, you got 500 rupees. Now this 500 rupees will go in three different baskets: tax planning, emergency fund, protection planning, and then your wealth creation, which is your long term goals. So, first and foremost, at least 6 months' income of yours, you should invest in liquid mutual fund and create your emergency fund requirement. Never ever touch it. Only in case of very big emergency, you can take that. So, in case of job losses or pay cuts or anything which is like not in your hand and certain situation comes in your life, at least for 6 months, you are not stuck up for the day to day expenses in your life. So 6 months income into emergency fund and liquid mutual fund. That's first thing everyone should do. Second thing, you have to definitely follow proper tax planning. You just can't keep on paying taxes. So whatever government allows you in a very ethical and proper way, you should save tax. So under Section 80C 1.5 lakh, you can invest in PPF or in ELSS, Equity Linked Savings Scheme of Mutual Funds. Completely tax free, tax exempted, and absolutely good decision as far as your tax planning is concerned. So, for example, if you invest 1.5 lakh rupees in PPF for 15 years, because there is a compulsory lock in of 15 years in that product, you get close to 45 lakhs rupees when it gets matured on the 16th year, which is completely tax exempted and tax free and zero risk because government guarantees that. So imagine, just by doing one thing properly, you are saving tax, you are growing your money, it is quite good for you. And at certain age of your life, you know that if you get this much money, you can surely achieve any of your dream and goal on that particular stage of your life. So it's like completely goal based financial planning you are doing. And at the same time, if you invest your money in ELSS, it invests completely into equity, 100% equity. So it has high risk, high returns category. And in past, it has given around 15 to 18% kind of CAGR returns. So if you get that much returns, you make close to 1 crore 10 lakhs rupees.
Wow.
So this is how you can do your tax planning. 50,000 rupees additional you can invest in NPS and create pension for yourself. So when you retire, after the retirement, when your salary stops, you can start getting pension. And lastly, you can show your housing loan, etc. also and save tax. So this is what is tax planning. Then you should also protect yourself and your family members. So term insurance, mediclaim, critical illness mediclaim, surgical mediclaim, cancer specific mediclaim separately, and you should take your accidental coverage, and finally you should do your will drafting and nomination properly. Inform your family members, especially all the husbands who are listening to me. Please involve your wives.
Yeah.
Nowadays I've seen that all the fathers are very keen to give full liberty to the daughters, but when it comes to wives, they are at times not that transparent. I'm not saying anything in particular, but please, first you have to empower your own wife. And then slowly, slowly, you will empower your daughter and everyone around you. So please inform them everything where you have invested your money. Give her all the passwords. Please draft your will and tell her that you can execute if in case something happens to me. All the investments, if you are on good terms, husband and wife, then please put it on either or survival, ENS mode, so that even a single signature wife can take everything if in case of emergency. And also I personally feel that involve your women of the house in every decision you take. Do you buy house separately alone and go and just say, okay, fine, one fine day I have bought my house, come stay with me? No. Do you get married your children just okay, wifey? I have just decided that my daughter is going to get married to this son. Come enjoy the wedding. Come with me. No. So why can't you also involve your wife in every financial decision you take, so that one, she is aware of what's happening. Two, she can give value adds.
Yes.
Nobody can be better than her as far as money management is concerned. And
Definitely.
three, uh, you are involving everyone. No, the obviously the decisions, and it will work in your favor.
I think even during COVID, right, lot of people had emergencies or sudden casualties, and at that point there was no will in place, no proper planning done, and lot of widowed wives had no idea on where to go or what to do. So this advice, and I've never heard so much in detail about in terms of how to go about and what to do in terms of step by step on different products that you can opt for. But
So,
now, yeah,
Neha,
yeah,
one more thing I forgot. But before that, Neha, I completely agree with you. So many HR heads or the HR department people have reached out to me in COVID because their employees' wife have no clue, because certain organizations they take term insurance on behalf of their employees. So they have to take that money and give it to the widow, but the wife doesn't know what to do with that money also.
yeah,
So that is where they involve us. We counsel them, we help them, sitting with HR and the widow or whoever, have mother, father, whoever have lost their near and dear ones. So we exactly had a lot of counseling sessions, that if you get this 1 crore rupees of term insurance from the organization, then what will you do? How will you invest so that you can look after your children well, even if your husband is not there now? So in COVID, I think it is not at all about money or products or it's a different ball game altogether.
yeah,
It really helps you if you start taking interest. That's what is my humble submission to all of you, that start taking interest. If you'll start reading, if you'll start talking, if you'll start communicating with your people, then you will definitely learn a lot and you will give full justice to your family money and income. And the last thing, Neha, which they can do is wealth creation basket. So in wealth creation basket, all your medium to long term goals takes place. So your retirement planning, children planning, your midlife planning. So many women are passing through midlife crisis. Children have grown up, husbands are busy in their jobs. Women somehow, those who are not working have lost their identity and confidence. And trust me, Neha, she is 40 and she's going to live for another 40 years, which is 80. So she
Yeah,
will have to find some place for herself, no? Otherwise,
exactly.
what will she do? So
Yeah.
even for midlife, you should have enough money so that you can do something which you really is passionate for. Like I quit my job in my midlife only and only because I was financially free. I wouldn't have been in front of you talking all these things, Neha. So financial freedom is so important in your life in every stage. So people at times forget about midlife. They do retirement planning, but remember that before retirement planning, 15 years before that, you're going to pass through your midlife. So for that also you need a lot of money if you want to lead your life on your own terms. So midlife is also a very important segment and goal of your life. Don't forget that. So all your long-term midlife dreams, goals, all those things you can do in your wealth creation basket. And mainly, I would suggest mutual funds, equity, PMS, international stocks, multi-asset funds. These are very, very important products which you can invest it into, and you can plan for your medium to long term goals. And of course, all the mothers who are listening, the biggest goal for them is children planning. So for your children's education, marriage, entrepreneurship, startup capital, so many reasons are there. You have to plan it out, and your wealth creation basket will help you a lot.
I think you've given us a lot to think about and plan. And definitely, the people who are in the audience must reach out to Alpa Shah so that if there are any guidance or counseling that is required, she's available with us to help us plan better. And just in terms of maybe just basic things to help us get that financial freedom. So, definitely, everyone who's watching, do reach out. Before I open up for questions for everyone please post questions. But before that, just one last question for you. I know you've given already so many tips, but just three takeaways for attaining financial freedom, if you can give us.
Yeah, so first, start taking interest, Neha. It's like if I want to lose weight, obviously I will have to understand my body type, no? And then I'll have to work hard. See, in fact, I was almost 25 kg more 7 years back. And I went to a dietitian. Now I'm doing yoga. I take walk every day. What I'm trying to tell you here is, and I stopped eating sweets, fried. I exactly know that this is not good for me at this age. I'll put on weight, and that's not correct. So, Neha, my only humble submission to all the women who are listening to me, understand your life needs and start taking interest in money. Money cannot be boring or tough. It's the highest priority in your life. According to me, first priority is your health, second priority is your relationships, third priority is your family members, children, whoever, and fourth priority is your money for sure. You
And don't
cannot,
shy away. I think women are shy to
yeah,
talk about it. That's also part of the
yes,
problem, the way we are brought up. We don't talk about money as much as the other
yeah.
gender does.
I
So,
mean, kitchen is more important. See, even I love to go in the kitchen and I prepare food. I love, but what I'm trying to tell you here is that money is an integral part of your life. Start taking interest. Second, don't just earn, also invest in such a way that it compounds and it grows.
yes.
And third thing, just be very, very wise on your spending habits and be very, very smart as far as your money management is concerned. So these are few takeaways I feel. And women's best protection is the little money of her own. So it can be gold, it can be real estate, it can be mutual funds, it can be anything. But that is what is her strength and that is what is her safety. Today, I feel so confident that maybe, till I'm alive, I don't think I'll have to ask for money from anybody, from my children or whoever. And that feeling itself is so good, Neha, I can't tell you. I may not be super duper rich, but I'm exactly knowing. that I will never find a shortage in my life as far as my standard of living is concerned.
Right.
So
Great.
everything depends on understanding your type, your requirement, and then work towards it. That's it.
Great. Thank you so much, Alpa. I think it was a great session. We do have a few questions, so I'll just go through those questions. So, someone's actually curious about knowing about you're author of two books. So, can you tell us more about those books?
Yeah, sure. So my first book is Every Women Should Invest. It is available on Amazon, and let me see if I have the copy. I can just show you as well. Yes. So it is available on Amazon, and you can surely buy this. And this book is so beautiful and very dear to my heart. Not because this is my first book, but it has 18 different case studies and real life stories of different types of women, including sex worker, transgender, single mother, widow. So I have covered almost all the types of women and how financial literacy and how investments and money management help them lead a very good life. So, my first chapter itself in this book is of a cancer survivor, dual cancer survivor, single mother, IIM Bangalore, working for TCS, and how suddenly at the age of 52, the life has just taken a different mode altogether. And how she bounced back as a cancer coach only and only because of her financial planning and cancer specific mediclaim which she had. So remember one thing, cancer is 100% um, curable if you detect it early and if you fight it with the best of the best treatment. So every year one must go for a body checkup and we must buy a cancer specific mediclaim to the fullest so that you are sure that God forbidden if something happens to me, I will fight it back and bounce back like how she. So this book is not about money. This book is really inspirational and so many true life stories I have captured here, and most of them are my dear friends. So you can imagine how passionate I would have been while writing this book, and I was very emotional also. It has one chapter of my maid also who
Oh,
started
wow.
SIP, and yeah. And my second book is also available on Flipkart and Amazon both. And that book is exactly like how me, Neha, we all are entrepreneurs, right? So this is the book, The Business Women. It is mainly a life story of how successful we become if we do certain things correct in our life, and how we can grow as far as our entrepreneurship journey is concerned.
Nice. That's someone's actually asking if you can share the details. We'll definitely share the details of the book on the comment section, and definitely feel free to reach out to us. One last question we have. Okay, so this is a complicated one. So someone's asking, I would like to get involved in the financial planning of my family, but since I haven't been doing since so many years, it's become complicated or difficult to take me seriously. So, how do I break that barrier and actually start making people believe to take me seriously for it?
Yeah, so again, communication play a very important role. Unfortunately, I'm not a counselor. So maybe you can get in touch with a very nice counselor, and maybe she can guide you on what kind of communication and what kind of habits you can change as far as your family members taking you for granted. So at times you have to make them realize that, look, I'm not just this, I'm much more capable of so many things. And there is a very thin line between rudeness and softness. So ensure that you are doing whatever you are doing in such a way that they respect you, because respect is something which you cannot force on somebody to give you. You can only
Oh,
get if
yeah.
you prove yourself well. So this is a big challenge for you. You have to fight it out. You only know how to do this, and I'm with you, and I give you all my support if in case you need it, and my best wishes to you.
Great. That's almost the end of it. And thank you so much, Alpaji. I think it was a great session. And I hope you had as much as fun as we did. And your advice and insights was just great. So thank you so much for everything.
To Neha, once again, congratulations to you. You all are doing commendable work for women empowerment. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.
Bye
Have a good
bye.
yeah, bye.
Take care.